Hello my wolfpack and welcome to a new Spyro video. So today we are talking about the Professor and his backstory. So again, from Spyro Shadow Legacy, a game that is canon to the original series. It is basically the sixth game in the series. It was only released on DS, but we do find a little bit more about the backstories of Hunter and the Professor. I've already done Hunter's Fury of the Card, will be up here somewhere, hopefully, if I've remembered to do it. But we also have some more information on the Professor. So basically, the Professor was actually born in the Forgotten Worlds. And this, well, basically, the Professor is from Lost Fleet, but not from Lost Fleet, more under Lost Fleet. Basically, underneath Lost Fleet, there is another world called Moleville, and this is where the Professor's homeworld actually is. So it's really kind of weird that he originates from the Forgotten Worlds, but we see him Avalar in Spyro 2 before even seeing him in Spyro 3. So he is not actually technically native to Avalar, he is native to the Forgotten Worlds. But I believe that he travelled over to Avalar to just go and experiment. Maybe he was called over by Alora and Hunter to be able to help them out with some of their problems, and then he decided to stick around because he really enjoyed it, and maybe he wanted to go venturing, finding new scientific stuff. I can't think of any particularly sciencey levels except for Metropolis. Maybe he went there particularly for Metropolis because that is just robots. That is a really high tech kind of world, so the Professor would probably be very interested in that. But we do also know that the Professor does have links to the Forgotten Worlds, which is in the worlds in Spyro 3, I should probably say. He does have links to the Forgotten Worlds because he does train Agent 9. Obviously, you do see him in Agent 9's lab, which is a Forgotten World, a Forgotten world. Agent 9's lab is where he seems to have a lot of kind of prevalence there. He seems to know everything about it, so I assume it's partly his lab as well. Maybe Agent 9 is just kind of a bodyguard on top of there, or one of his experiments. I don't know if it's ever been confirmed, but it seems that the Professor does actually have a lab in Agent 9's lab. That seems that is his lab, and it would make sense that he does set up base somewhat close to his home in Lost Fleet, or under Lost Fleet in Moleville, and would go over to Avalar maybe just to visit some people. Maybe he got a call from someone, maybe he got to know Hunter, maybe Hunter had been there before, and he decided to come back to Avalar with Hunter or something along those lines. And then obviously we do know that he does stick around in the Dragon Kingdom for a little while, which we do find out in A Hero's Tale. So basically the Dragon Realms are also going to be his home because he sets up a massive lab and does a lot of experiments there, obviously helping out Spyro, particularly with Red as well. I think he knows some of the Red backstory, probably because he's just so well versed that he's just read so many books and stuff, so he knows kind of what Red's up to and is willing to help Spyro out, because Spyro seems to be the only dragon capable of actually saving anyone. But we know the Professor definitely has a brother or sister because he has a nephew called Blink. Blink is a mole that is afraid of air, basically afraid to be above ground. And we do know that he says that my uncle is the Professor, so we do know that the Professor does have siblings and that they obviously have had children there. So my thoughts here, well, it's less of a theory, this one. This one is kind of everything that we've got added together. I don't quite know why the Professor might have gone to Avalar. It could have been Metropolis. I would theorize Metropolis because that would make sense. He seems to have kind of been helping people out in Skelos Badlands as well. I think that was kind of part of the storyline Shadow Legacy, so that's kind of what I'm thinking there. But yeah, I think the Professor originates from the Forgotten Worlds, then travelled over to Avalar sometime before Spyro 2, and then continued on with kind of his research with Agent 9 in Spyro 3, and then moved to the Dragon Realms in Spyro A Hero's Tale, or before a Spyro Hero's Tale, I should say. But that is it for today in the Professor. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know anything down in the comment section below.